won throughout this year. All the action, the West Coast Fever, with a star-studded lineup and an Australian coach as well in Norma Plummer. Very excited, Tony. Just a little bias there, but
yes, that's all right.
Doesn't matter. We'd like to see him in the finals, as Williamson has it for the Wildcats, who will play finals this year. The Crocs, you would think also, as Wagstaff dishes it off nicely. And it was a good finish in the end. The Cats stretching that margin. Damien Martin with the points there. Damien Martin with his first 2 points of the game. He stopped a fair few, though. Allen outside, Cedar a long way out. Couldn't finish it off.
See, I reckon that with both Gill and Crawford sitting on the bench right now, I'd throw them out there and just... I know they're in foul trouble and you want to save them, but really 25 points down, give it one last shot.
And try and get the score a little higher than 45 as Wagstaff finishes off. 57 points is the lowest score this season. We're on 45 now. New Zealand scored 57, round 13. Wollongong scored 57 against Townsville in round 14. So, pardon me, but I'll be making sure we cheer a little bit to try and get him over that 57, because that's not a great score as Wagstaff has it against Holmes in the post. Backing in, wants to take him on in the end. It was good defence from Holmes, or there'll be a foul. There will be a foul on Jacob Holmes. He's got 2 for the game as there's changes. Hiram Williamson and Wagstaff dressed up, and the Wildcats with a 27-point lead decide to throw in their starting 5. Holmes and Redditch having a word with the referees, or the referee having a word with them as Mims comes on and Jacob Holmes will sit down. Great game from him, 14 points, 9 in that third quarter and 11 rebounds. The pass to Redditch. I like this music, Tony, too. This is sort of our vintage. Bust move. Yep. Back in the day. And the pass from Martin, though, cut off through the hands of Neville to Cedar. Little floater from him. Will it drop? No. And the hungry Cats, 3 of them up trying to take the rebound. Martin will finish up with it.
Townsville 2 minutes into this last quarter, still don't have a basket. Wildcats have 2. I don't know why you wouldn't just throw out your best team, give it one last shot, or unless you've packed up shut-up shop already.
He might have as Neville backs back and then goes the jumper and scores the 2 and draws the foul on Ben Allen. On the flip side of what you said in the third quarter, here it is here, the foul. It was a great move by Neville, just back and back, and then the floater, a little...
He's got a nice touch around that basket,
certainly, from that area, around the top of the key, he's usually pretty reliable, and he drops that one as well. He's looking so comfortable now in this team.
Yeah, he's come a long way. Remember when we first started covering some of the Wildcats games, didn't really know where he fitted in, but definitely found his feet and become a major contributor.
And Blanchfield steps out of court. I was going to say, on the flip side to what you said in the third quarter, you said, you know, running Williamson and those type of players gives them a bit of confidence. Does it give confidence to run more of Cedar, Blanchfield, Townsville?
For sure. I think that once the game is done, you do that. But with the three-quarter time, you still want to give it one last shot. It's a 20-point game, but put your best players out there. I know some of them are in trouble. Foul trouble, that is.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you just give it one last shot, and then you can, beyond that, then you can start to look at developing, or you're developing players, giving them some time.
There's a foul under there. Sean Redditch will go to the line. Cedar handed with that foul. It's a 30-point margin right now. Plenty of frustration for the Crocodiles. Eddie Gill will come into the game finally, and Sean Redditch will go to the line. Rob Cassia comes onto the courts for his first run of tonight. And Redditch goes to the line. As I said, 57, the lowest score this season. Shencha standing tall. They need something from him to get him over that next 12 points. Redditch scores the first.
how comprehensive has the game been? I mean, we've still got 7 minutes to go in this last quarter, but the Wildcats, you look at right across the board, you've got Sean Redditch, who's the leading scorer with 16, but then Wagstaff 13, Luke Neville 11, Toby's got 7, Lish has got 12. You know, you've got guys like Damien Martin, who's contributed in all the other areas, but on the score sheet with just 2 points. It's just been right across the board and a brilliant performance so far without anyone just standing out.
And they've had complete dominance over the Crocodiles this season.
Yep.
Round 3, 93 to 85. That was a good win, solid win over there in Townsville for the Wildcats, and then they won big time on New Year's Eve, 97 to 76. It looks like it'll be a big margin here unless something unbelievable happens, as Cedar will be called for a foul.
It just gives them that mental edge. Like if the playoffs were tomorrow, the way that the standings are, the Wildcats and the Crocs would be playing in that first round of playoffs. And to have that mental edge, knowing that you have beaten a team, is huge going into the playoffs. You know, Cedar during the week, obviously making that call about the Wildcats not respecting them. Well, they haven't really earned it.
No, they haven't gone. They didn't come in physical, did they? They really didn't show any of that talk that they made during the week.
Yeah. And particularly when we're talking about it, we're still 6 minutes to go in the last quarter.
Yeah.
You know, it's been disappointing.
So shot clock violation for the Wildcats. That's the first, I would say, of the night. So better defence this time from Townsville, 77-45. Leading the scorers, Sean Redditch with 16 points, 13 to Wagstaff, 12 to Lish. And over on the other side, Jacob Holmes with 14 points, 8 points for Mims and 8 points for Peter Crawford. As we've got a foul and slight injury for Jesse Wagstaff. Just feeling a little bit sore. And the Crocs will inbound the ball. Have not scored in this quarter, Tony. It's still stuck on 45, and we've played nearly 4 minutes of this final term. Eddie Gill will want to go one-on-one. Nice little shake and bake, and then goes for the little jumper. Didn't go. Lish picks up the crumbs. Toby's coming on his right-hand side, and he'll finish up a nice layup. Sean Redditch just barreled Mansfield out the way then as they ran down the court.
Nice little nudge.
79-45. Doesn't sound like I'm cheering, but I hope this goes in, as Crawford can't land that bomb. Still stuck on 45. Lish to Kasia. Rod Kasia from outside, a little short. Had the open look, couldn't finish it. The youngster. So the Cats will stay on top as there's an offensive foul. A bit of push and shove. Redditch ended up on the ground and be fouled for Crawford. Toby just came over and grabbed him. Don't think that was necessary.
Moving. How was that moving? Yep, hand off. I'm in distance and we're still moving forward, so okay.
There's another foul for Peter Crawford. He's got 4 to his name. Here it is now. Crawford running in. How was I moving? He smashed him. Absolutely smashed him, Tony.
Yeah.
Just a foul on that one. I was off ball, mate. I couldn't see off ball.
I feel for Pete right now. He's a frustrating young man. He put a little bit extra in it. Sean did sell that one a little bit too. He did a good job.
That's not like Sean.
Yes, it is. We know that. He knows that. So.
Well, that's working for him, I suppose, as Lish drives to the basket. Mims with the long arms traps it. The pressure comes from Toby to Crawford now, underneath Blanchfield. Got stuck in the corner. He feeds it back out. Now it'll go to the low post of Shensha. Mims liked his start to the game, just hasn't finished it in the second half and couldn't finish that one. There's Kasia. He'd be loving it right now, the youngster. I think he's from Willerton over here in WA. Lish outside 3. No. Little dummy wants to take on. Scores the basket again.
He is so good at going to the basket, taking the contact and just hanging in the air. See here, just getting Shensha up in the air, jumping, taking the contact, forcing Mims to bring his hands down, create the foul, and one.
It is getting ugly in the jungle. The Wildcats 81, Townsville 45. Back in a moment.
My life has taught me one lesson. Happy endings only happen in the movies.
The story's not over yet.
Hugo, a Martin Scorsese picture in 3D, now showing.
Major Tiles' major sale means major savings, with up to 50% off selected tiles. Latest designs for all areas. So hurry, this major sale ends soon. Major Tiles. Imagine, design, create.
Half-court shot. Do you want to see Cat knock it down from half-court?
Well, that's a frustrated bunch of basketballers right there. Have a crack, saying Jacob Holmes. He certainly had a crack, but they're still stuck on 45 points. The Wildcats on 81. The next couple of weeks for the Crocs. A couple of opportunities. You got the Taipans away, 36ers at home, 36ers away, Taipans at home, and then Gold Coast. So that's actually not a bad run for the Crocodiles, but it'll depend how they respond after this game.
Yeah, well, you'd hope that they would respond in the manner that they should, being the third-place team, be fairly disappointed with tonight's effort. You know, it's always tough to come over and play, but they really have, since a few minutes, 3 or 4 minutes to go in that second quarter, have really struggled. But some of those games, the Taipans in Cairns is always tough. They're playing well as well. But the 36ers, you'd think that they'd pick up both those wins, and then obviously any home game you hope to win, and on the road against the Gold Coast is going to be tough as they're vying for that top 4 position as well.
Blanchfield, nice aggression to the basket, and he draws the foul. Could this be the first score of the quarter? We've played 5.5 minutes and waiting to get off 45. Blanchfield to the line, and the fans behind him will stand up just to make it that little bit harder. They're actually being kind because they're not really making a lot of noise as Blanchfield settles in for the first. There's the first of the quarter.
Suffering a bit of heat stroke.
Is that the Wildcats being hot or the temperature outside?
Probably increase the temperature a little bit, mate.
And an impressive performance. Blanchfield makes them both. 82-47. Here's Wagstaff wanting a feed into Williamson. He's going to try and feed it back into Neville, who was running to the top of the key. And still a Wildcats ball. This is another one from our vintage, Tony, back in the 80s.
Mate, I remember it well.
Yes, out of the nightclubs. I can imagine you dancing your heart out. As Neville has it, goes against Shencha. He's certainly won the points tonight, Luke Neville. And Eddie Gill has it against Lish. Good defence, moving his feet quickly, trying to get round Neville. No foul called there. The pass to the corner, Blanchfield. Ball rolls around a little. Up strong was Shencha and passes it out to Crawford. Can this one drop? Yes, PC. Nice long bomb from Peter Crawford. 82-50 is the score. There's Lish. We haven't seen him. We might just check up throughout this quarter. Matty Knight, I don't think, has featured in this fourth quarter. Hoping there's no reoccurrence of an injury there for him.
Yeah, I think he played the first minute or so. Yeah, he was on, and then Rob Beveridge pulled him off fairly quickly.
There's a foul there.
There's absolutely no point in having him out there anyway at this stage. So
a couple more changes. Jesse Wagstaff sitting down. Jesse Wagstaff with 13 points. He's had a real purple patch this season. Scored 15 against Sydney in their last game, 25 against Gold Coast, 10 against Melbourne, 18 against Townsville, and 23 against New Zealand. Averaging in the last 6 games around 18 points a game. Not bad for a player coming off the bench.
It's fantastic for him, and he really, you know, that's what he needs to do, develop that consistency night in, night out, and give the Wildcats that type of output. And then he's just going to find himself playing more and more minutes.
Nice little move from Gill. The shot, though, was a little short and flat. Here's Lish up against Crawford. Oh, that was a big screen from Redditch to Williamson to cap it off. Magnificent piece of play.
Peter Crawford's wondering, how in the heck is that different from what I did up the other end? And he's probably got a good point, you know.
We may see the replay again. He got absolutely mauled, Peter Crawford. He goes again for himself. No foul called, and Shencha will cap it off with a 2. They're creeping up to the 57, the Townsville Crocs. It's 85-52. 30 points the margin. Lish throwing himself at it still. With a 30-point lead, they're desperate. Williamson conditioned inside. No, decides to go to Purser. He can't make the basket. And the Crocs will come up with the boards. It's nice and loud in here as Crawford goes for the long bomb. Here's Mims. Swatted away by Neville. They're still fighting the Wildcats. Purser and Gill will be called for his 5th foul. He's on his way to the sidelines. Here's the big pump, Tony. I want your assessment. He didn't actually move into it, did he? He didn't lean into it, but he didn't move into it.
I actually don't think that is a foul, but I don't think Peaks was as well.
You don't reckon Peaks was?
Nah.
Had a bit of a run up to it, Peaks.
The referee, he was in his position ready to call it even before Pete made contact.
Okay.
Toughen up.
Toughen up.
Not that bad.
I like the bumps, yeah. Bring them on. The more, the better. Here's the other angle.
No, I mean, that's not a foul.
Not a foul? Okay.
No way. No.
It was a good finish, too, from Williamson. That was a long three-pointer. And Benny Purser will go to the line for a couple of shots. Hasn't scored so far in this game. Now he has. 86-52. That's the score. 2 minutes remaining in this game. And the Cats crank it up to 100. It'll be a fair finish and a fair statement to the rest of the competition if they can. Here's Cedar, the pressure coming from Martin. Chris Cedar gets it back again. Mims passes to Crawford. Then he loses control as Purser did well, just stripped it of him. Damien Martin flashing those white teeth. He's feeling it now. Williamson couldn't make it, and the foul will come from Martin. Pete says, thank goodness for that. I've got one coming my way. It's party time in the jungle now. The Wildcats have New Zealand next week. That's going to be a crackerjack game. But it's in New Zealand. Taipans, then the Kings, then the 36ers, then the Taipans again at home. Who's your tip? Top versus second. The Wildcats versus New Zealand after seeing the Cats tonight.
Always tough to go over there and play, but it should be a great game. And look, I would pick New Zealand probably in New Zealand. First time all year I think I picked against the Wildcats, but it will be a good one.
It's going to be a crackerjack game. There's been a couple of fouls in there. A little knee this time, and the Crocs will get a couple more foul shots. Luke Shencher was barreled over by Damien Martin. How have you seen the fouls? Can we get serious now? It's 20-17, so it's even. Yeah. Have you seen it go in the Wildcats' favour tonight? I mean, the Crocs are frustrated, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, look, they are, and I think a lot of times in, the start of quarters, you probably, in that third quarter and maybe in that second quarter, it was 3-0 to, the Crocs have committed more fouls, but, I don't think the refereeing has been inconsistent or bad. There's been some calls that could go either way, 50-50, like that one that we spoke about with Peter Crawford on the moving screen earlier. It's just an interpretation. I like to see that people get away with that because I used to be the one setting those screens.
I remember the famous screen from Andrew Vale on Mark Dickel. Yeah. It was a beauty. But anyway, here's Williamson outside three. He can't make that go over the top. Martin trying to keep it in play.
There was another one too that involved the Wildcats, and that was Robert Sibley absolutely blindsiding Trevor Torrance at Melbourne Park, or Rod Laver Arena.
There's a player here too, BJ Anthony absolutely smashed Drew Williamson, I think last year in a game against New Zealand. That was a beauty. His seat up, bombs away. Can I ask you as a player, 57 is the lowest score of the season. Would the Townsville Crocodiles right now know that's the lowest score of the season? Would it come into their thoughts at all?
Wouldn't have a clue.
Would you have known that 57 stuff?
No.
Okay.
No, I think that if you know that sort of stuff, it's probably mind is elsewhere.
Mind is elsewhere. So 53. Can they get 4 more points at least to not have the lowest score? We've got another sub. Kevin Lish is coming into the game. 87-53 is the score. It's a big margin. 34. I hate it when it gets this big, Tony, because it starts testing out the maths. Got 9% for Maths B. Need the calculator. So it's a Crocs ball. 87-53. 50 seconds left in this game. Crawford from outside. Rattles around. He falls over again, PC, and he's going to be aggressive now. I don't think he's worried about giving away his 5th foul. As Lish brings it into the front court. And the margin is going to be a big one. Another big one for the Wildcats over the Crocodiles. Purser into the corner, off the hands of Kevin Lish. 24 seconds remaining.
And the Crocs just want this to be over.
Yeah, it's been a demoralising loss, and it's going to be one they're going to have to work on.
I think it just highlights the gap between the top 2 teams and the rest of the competition.
Here's Mims. Will take it all the way to the rack. There is a foul there, and he'll get a chance to have a couple of the shots. This has been the longest Welcome to the Jungle song ever. I might just want to switch it over to another one, I reckon.
The NBL all-time low this year in points scored is
I think the last 24 seconds has gone for about 4 minutes.
12 seconds on the clock. Mims to the line. He drops the first and makes it 54.
Not looking good, though. Nice and loud, Perth.
He drops the second as well, and it's 55-87. That's 32 points to margin, and I don't think they'll get another possession. So the Crocodiles will now own the lowest score of the 2012 season. The final score here in the Jungle, Wildcats 87, the Townsville Crocodiles